G'day viewers. Well, the end of another week means it's time once more for Totally Fucked Up Friday, where I prove to you the world is totally fucked up. And starting in the US with something that might give a few US citizens pause for thought, the Americans like to say how wonderful their constitution is with all its wonderful amendments, and I'm frequently told that they feel sorry for me because I don't have that protection. In the latest bit of evidence that that protection is worth exactly what people with more power than you say it's worth, the Supreme Court seems set to make it legal for police to force entry into someone's home without a search warrant on something as simple as I could smell marijuana. Now, this all goes to a drug bust, and how far does what's known as the Fourth Amendment go? Fourth Amendment, in short, limits the police's power to unfair searches and seizures. Now, courts have been slowly sort of whittling away at this, making it very easy for police to search cars and to search people's body, but the home had kind of been regarded as, you know, a protected space, and it was very hard for a court to side with a cop who didn't have a search warrant. Looks like those days might be over. And there's two things about this that should give any rational person pause for thought. The first bit is that this is all part of the bullshit war on drugs, which is about as effective as the bullshit war on terror. The second part is, if you can't see the potential for abuse here, it's all well and good to try out a case where it was an actual drug dealer or someone in possession of drugs, but the idea that the police can kick down your door and say after the fact, I smelled marijuana and I thought they were going to dispose of evidence, so I had to act. It was exigent circumstances. If you can't see the potential for abuse there, well, you live in a wonderful special world that I'm sure is full of unicorns and fluffy happy ponies and little sugar plum fairies who dance around. Some of us live in the real world, and those people in the real world should recognise this as being totally fucked up. Speaking of people who inspire respect for the law and don't abuse their power, Silvio Berlusconi, Italian Prime Minister. I've mentioned him a couple of times for fun things like he's essentially trying to make the internet illegal, thinks he can prosecute people around the world simply for criticising him. He wants everyone in Italy to have a licence to go on the internet so they can be prosecuted if they criticise him or the government. That's bad enough, but the guy is under at least 3 serious criminal investigations, which he'd been dodging by using his own power to pass a law that said it wasn't legal to prosecute him for crimes. Wrap your head around that. Someone under criminal investigation who happens to be running the government gets the government to pass a law that says he can't be prosecuted. Nothing sus going on there. But one of the higher constitutional courts in Italy have used, I believe it was a very old and arcane legal term that translates as fucking bollocks, and said, no, you can't render yourself above criminal investigation. So in all probability, the criminal investigation will proceed against Berlusconi, and apparently his line in court is, even if it's legal to prosecute him, he can't, because that would be bad, because he can't appear in court and run the country. And you're doing such a bang-up job there, Silvio. The Italian government and economy is renowned around the world as a model of efficiency. Yeah, that is totally fucked up. And finally, a story I didn't quite believe when a few people sent it to me this week, but it's true. In Canada, they've banned the Dire Straits song Money for Nothing. Yes, that big pop hit from the 80s has been banned from airplay because it uses the word faggot 3 times. A couple of things spring to mind that, no, it hasn't been the direct cause of thousands of deaths since the 1980s. No, it said the word faggot, and it's probably been played on radio thousands and thousands of times, and society hasn't collapsed why 20, 30 years later it has to be banned is anyone's fucking guess. Look, faggot is a word. A word can't hurt anyone. Intention hurts. You can be a horrible, nasty, brutal, homophobic person without ever using the word faggot, okay? And this is what I mean. Intention, in the song, it's not even used in a derogatory way towards gays. I wrote down the lines so I can quote them to you. The context of the lines is, the little faggot with the earring and makeup, yeah buddy, that's his own hair. That little faggot's got his own jet airplane. That little faggot's a millionaire. What it's doing is ripping apart fuckwits who abuse someone by using a term like faggot. It's not being homophobic, it's telling homophobic morons, you're a moron, a loser, and jealous. Of all the times to make a word an arbitrary thing and to ignore intent, this is just astonishingly stupid. As I get faggot or gay or something similar hurled at me multiple times every day in comments. It doesn't bother me because, well, let's see, either it's got to be true, in which case how could it bother me, or it's not true, in which case how could it bother me. People who use faggot, nigger, kike, any sort of epithet as an insult, they are not saying anything about the person they deliver it to. They are only saying something about themselves. Usually that they're a horrible, shallow, empty, hateful, worthless sack of shit. And morons like this who think they're doing good by banning a word do far more harm than good. And if people cannot wake up to this sort of thing, soon we're just not going to be able to communicate. But the hateful bigots will still be out there